Spartans! What is your profession? Are you not entertained?
All right, everybody, we're back here. We're Tina Malm, 6'10", versus Alyssa Solt, 5'15". I'm joined by Ed Ladawi from Sandcastle Billiards. He's going to do our play-by-play here. How's it going, Ed?
Doing well. Thank you very much for inviting me. Yeah?
No problem.
Got a beautiful tournament.
Appreciate it.
Field of ladies out here today. We haven't seen this local high-caliber player field quite a few years.
Yeah.
So I may be a little bit out of touch with the ladies, so forgive me if I'm not familiar with anyone that's here today. Only a few of them, but most are still the same suspects.
No problem. I can definitely clue you if we need it.
Sure. I'm very familiar with Tina Malm and Alyssa Solt. I actually worked with Alyssa a couple of times in the last few years. She's kind of on and off with the game, but I know Tina's been steady with it for the last couple of years, and both of these are coming off of two recent wins from what I've been watching lately.
Yeah, Alyssa won the state Maryland State 9-ball championship, and then Tina, 2 tournaments last 2 months. She won the Music City Open down there.
Let's see if Alyssa will put this cue ball behind the 7-8 here. Little friendly bump, little friendly brush on the 8. There we go.
I'll get our finger on the replay button here in case Tina gets her jump cue out.
Yep, here comes the elevation for the jump. She has a path to the corner. Let's see if she pockets it.
Oh!
Does more than just makes contact. Great pocketing, and does not get a reward from the 3-ball.
Take a look at that replay button here in case Tina gets her jump cue out.
Nice solid hit. Has a natural landing elevation for the jump.
I thought it was going to maybe make both the way she hit it.
Let's see if she I can't tell from our vantage point here if that 3-ball is frozen to the rail or not.
I got an overhead camera, let's see.
It's so well prepared here. I love it. Great job, Frank.
Thanks. I'm going to try to put it behind the 4, I think. No.
It's not going to be enough to get there.
No.
Left it right in front of the side pocket or the corner. Alyssa has both options available to her. Obviously, should shoot 3 in the corner, 5-ball straight forward.
I've actually been playing against Alyssa a lot lately. She's been coming through here some of the nights, and let me know if it's good. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, earlier I was telling the audience we had a gentleman accidentally walk by and pull everything off the table. So I had to quickly reattach everything.
6 years, my ears are going, so...
Yeah.
It's back and forth by Tina there. There's a slight angle on this 5-ball. My vantage point is right behind her, so it's a little natural, just a little bit of low on the cue ball. She'll come off the rail and back over for the 7. It's not a whole lot. She does have to punch this ball in. Her proximity to the rail is a little closer. She's going to have to jack up to get below center on this. A little bit more than a natural stroke, so that's going to add a little bit of difficulty level to it. Shouldn't be a problem here. Too much. Even though she got a lot more than she wanted to on that shot, she's got a nice little angle to come around for the 8 ball in the side pocket. 2 rails back out the center here.
Yeah, speed control is a big problem, a big issue here. As long as she can just keep the cue ball under control, she should be fine. Very good.
Nicely done. Center table it is. A nice natural 1 rail and back out. Straight up with just a hint of inside English on this one. Just to kill it, bring it straight back out. She didn't want to be straight on with it. A little bit more right English would have helped. Got a little bit of a stretch here. She's just within range to stroke properly through this ball. Maybe not. She looked comfortable. I'm not sure what the question was. The players are having a little conversation here. I don't know about the call on the 9. I'm not sure. And she overcuts it.
I think there was a question whether or not she was going in the top left or the bottom left corner here.
Mm-hmm. Now, Frank, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a cold 9 tournament, correct?
It is, yes.
And is the player required to? I'd like to specify this because this was an issue in a pro tournament recently, whether it needs to be an audible call or an obvious rule overrules that.
We actually didn't get into that too much.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the Mika shot?
Mika incident,
Yeah.
of course. And I know this is a more friendly level tournament.
Yeah, I would
local.
hope that more civility would reign on that one. But if it became an issue, I would make it more of an audible type situation. But hasn't come up yet so far in the tournament.
Tina wasn't comfortable on that shot. We got up, reset. Good job to reset there. I don't know, something seems to be distracting her. And good job resetting there a couple times.
He takes it down 1-0.
All right, folks, as you see, for those of you just joining us, this is a race to 6 winner's side match. Alternate break format brings Alyssa Solt to the table. She is racking the balls now. She's trailing 1. First rack went to Tina Malm. An unexpected miss on a 9 ball the first time around, still brought it back around to Tina for that win. Here we go with rack number 2.
No problem, George. Sorry to miss you. But it's always about your health. Make sure that you would get over what kind of cold you have, and we'll see you next month. Hey, do you know George Hammerbacher from Maryland?
I'm not familiar with him in person. I've
No,
seen
George.
the name around.
George is a pro billiards instructor out of Maryland. Been doing it for probably 50 years longer than I've been alive. Very, very knowledgeable. And he's his nickname is the Voice. He's the voice of the the JP Newt tour. He does all the commentary for them.
Very nice. Nice to virtually meet you there, George.
He was on my stream when I went up there to do their tournament last month, and him and I had a good time.
I may be familiar with him by face.
Possibly,
a lot of people
yeah.
know him by face, so forgive me if I don't remember you, George. Now, you said he's a pro instructor. Is he a PBIA member? Or
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I should definitely be familiar with him. I'm actually flying out tomorrow to Vegas for the BCA board meeting and trade show. So we'll be discussing the PBIA instructors program, and various things out there. So
I actually have an email out to BCA. Mindy, my wife, and I recently purchased the Pennsylvania State Championships from Pennsylvania. So we want to run the tournament. I'm going to get BCA to recognize it as an official title. I think it'll be something good for the players in the region.
sounds good. Put that on the agenda. I'm the chair of the play committee, so
nice.
We can talk after.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure thing.
George, the gentleman commentating with me is Ed Ladawi. His nickname is the Sandman. He owns Sandcastle Billiards up in northern Jersey, Edison, New Jersey. Not too far from Shooters, where we were at 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yep. About an hour south of there. Tina playing the combination on the 5-7 here. See if she can control the 5 ball and not go too far away from that. So play nice and easy to leave room for positioning off the 5 around the 8 ball.
Yeah, would you play like a kill shot here?
I would kill it.
Yeah.
Cue ball location is not so important. Don't let her roll too high up. She's got some room. Okay, she can come around inside.
Might be able to spin it down there.
Yeah, she's going to have to come inside English with this 2 rails tight in the corner, back out through the center of the table a little bit further than the center. Yeah, that was a concern I had before the shot. We didn't want the 5 to come too close to the 8 ball, limiting options of positioning. Now she's coming inside with spin, and it's not enough to whip around, but she came on the short side.
Came on the short side of it,
well.
yeah, good shot.
Very well. A little bit too straight on it, actually. It's amazing when you try to get straight on the ball, you can't do it when you want to. But if you're trying to leave the angle every other shot,
Absolutely.
wind up straight so often. Now comes the tricky part.
I actually like these shots.
They're fun.
I control them pretty well with the drawback.
I'm back to the rail and spinning out.
She hit
Came
it.
out far enough. She did. Anywhere past center is good on this one. No real big concern with positioning here, just up and down. Technically down and up. Two times up and down off the short rails. Back to center table. She'll be fine on the cutter 9.
Yes, I'm here.
Tina's taking a moment to go back to her key case and grab something.
Yeah, Tina's
Towel to dry off with and finish that.
Tina has some issues with her with dry eye because every once in a while it affects her shot. She has to take a second to put an eye drop or 2 in. I always like her composure, how she very serious at the table.
Absolutely. Very high focused individual. True sign of a competitor.
And
And
it's never unsportsmanlike serious either.
No.
It's always competitive,
Business.
but yeah, after the match, great conversationalist. And,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very genuine person.
Yep.
And there goes rack number 2 in favor of Tina Malm. Alternate break format will keep her at the table. And it is a rack your own format.
Guys, we're going to pay some bills here in between the racks here. Our main sponsor is Integrity Cues. Okay, sorry, let's go back to the main screen first. There we go. Main sponsor is Integrity Cues. Kevin Steer takes care of us here at PA Pro-Am. One of the best guys in the business when it comes to cues, accessories, cases, pretty much anything you need. IntegrityCues.com. Take a look out there for it. It'll definitely take care of you. Tell him I sent you. We're at the beautiful Bluegrass Billiards here at 9490 Bluegrass Road in Philadelphia, PA. Home of the Pennsylvania State Championships. He has 50 tables here, 36 9-foot, 16 bar boxes, and a 3-cushion table. Last but not least, Lou Gagliano from the Player's Choice. Our table repairman. Lou's been doing table repair for over 30 years. Probably one of the best in the business. Definitely the best on the East Coast.
All right, Tina Malm at the break. Rack number 3, leading 2-0. And one down on the break. The 3 ball is just blocking her sights on the 1 ball. Just enough to make it an unnatural cut. If she hits it a little bit more full in the face and tries to throw it in here, it's going to be tough because she's got to use outside English to throw it into the pocket, and that's going to hinder her positioning skills, ability. But the 2 ball's close enough to the corner where that shouldn't come into play. Let's see if she goes for it or opts to play a conservative here. As you can see, it's that close. She goes for the cross corner bank. Surprised at that. And now that leaves a wide open shot. Stop shot here for Alyssa Solt coming to the table. Practically dead straight on the 1 on the side. That stop shot will give her a natural angle from the 2 to 3 back up the center. There we go. Let's see if my voice rings in her ears a little bit. I have a 4-step rule of decision making when playing pool.
Okay.
And the simplest and sweetest thing to do is pretty much kiss. Keep it sweet and simple. You can move the cue ball as little as possible. That's your first choice. Limit your motion on the cue ball. Keep it as simple as possible. Number 2 is to go into the angle of the shot, in or out, traveling parallel to the line of the shot. Number 3 is playing zone positioning. And then if all else fails, just get the cue ball to center table. But here she's keeping it very simple. Not a lot of motion with the cue ball. So far, so good.
So you just basically gave out a lesson that most instructors charge about $100 an hour for.
Yeah, pretty much.
For free.
Pretty much. But of course, each one of those steps has exceptions to the rules, and then you have to know when to break those.
Absolutely.
Rules. A little bit of a tight squeeze on that stroke there. A little bit of jerkiness.
All right, players, I have to go do some tournament director stuff. I'm going to leave you in Ed's capable hands. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you, Frank. Malm here now with the same shot on the 7 ball that she had pretty much last rack from the 7 to the 8, coming back around center table a little bit further this time, and traveling a little too far. She's gonna have to come around again. She's not gonna hold this one with inside. Maybe just go 2 rails, lay the 9 ball in the same pocket, and again, just like the very first rack, rack number 1, she's in that center table area with a sharp cut on a 9 ball on the other corner pocket this time. This time, and again, Just like the left pocket, she overcut it the first rack. Now she overcuts it this third rack here, same shot. Fortunately, overcutting those shots does leave it safe for the incoming player. Very difficult cut shot for Alyssa here. I like to opt for the safety. Send the cue ball up table. She's going for the cut though. She just called left pocket, top left corner. See, she's cutting it straight in, nothing but pocket. Cue ball up and down the table, safely done. Good job, Alyssa, there. She takes down rack number 3. Going into the 4th rack. Alternate break format, we'll have Alyssa at the table. I want to interrupt you. Good to see you.
Oh, what are you doing to the commentator?
In between racks, you might hear some people making comments. Tina and I have known each other for several years as well, so she just came over from her match to say hello and give a big hug. So I try not to interrupt any kind of play for hellos. There's always time after the match, but we didn't get a chance to say hello beforehand. Okay. See how Alyssa does on her break here. Nice solid contact on the 1. Just missed the wing ball going in, but contacts an object ball rolling around on the table with the tip of her cue. Now, I'm not familiar with what rules are going by on this tournament here. Frank will be coming back to make that call. I'm not tournament director, so I'm sure they're going to question that scenario and see if that's just going to be a placement of the object ball going back to where it may have been. For Tina to make that call, approximately where it would be, or if it's actual ball on hand foul, I'm not sure. Frank is standing there with him right now to make that call. So who in the chat room listening in right now will be in Las Vegas or is watching from Las Vegas? Who will be in Las Vegas this week at the BCA Expo? This is the Billiard Congress of America. This is a business mainly vendors of at the retail, wholesale, and manufacturing levels. The board of directors will also be conducting their meetings. There you go, nice little funny little roll there, guesstimating of how much faster it would roll down table and pass its play back. Good speed control by hand by Tina Malm there, getting it to lock up with the 6-ball. And Alyssa will remain at the table. I think that's actually more than fair. Nice stroke on that 2-ball. Any friendly kiss from the 3. This may not be too bad if she decides to cut it to her right. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, she can have a natural angle to roll. On the short side of the 4 is a 2-way shot, if it passes 6, which it does not, or try to go into them. She can position for the safety play, next shot. She is going to that bottom left-hand corner. Went for the breakup, and unfortunately chose to focus on the breakout as opposed to pocketing the ball, which is a very difficult thing to keep focused on. I know many players struggle with that. They sacrifice a shot to get the perfect position or focus too much on getting the breakout. Again, sacrificing the pocketing. Tina attempting a safety behind the 8-ball does not. Leaves it wide open. But again, that 4-ball is in a tough spot here. Don't believe the angle is tight enough for a natural roll into the 6 ball here. Let's see what happens. If she rolls it slow enough, it'll catch high enough and grab the cloth and get it. There it does. Nicely, right into it, clears it out. Well done by Alyssa. Once again, keeping it simple, 1 rail out the center, traveling in the line of the shot. Caught that one a little bit thick, catching a long rail on the way in, and these pockets will not forgive that to go. Tight lane for Lena to come back out through the center of the table here. Who catches the right half of the 5 ball, playing ball first, then catching the short rail, she can come out. I know a lot of players struggle with positioning out of the corner pocket. However, there's a few rules of thumb out there. When it's deep in the pocket and you have to go rail first, you play it a certain way, with either draw or follow. When it's sticking out, play it the other way, but hope she didn't hear me. Catching the right half of the 5. She could have checked it with a little bit of inside, but it wasn't totally necessary. 6 is close enough to the side, but now she's on the wrong side of the 6 ball, going to the left and around the table. Tough ball to position for. But I believe she has a stroke to do it. She's going to have a big back swing on this. And let out the stroke to go around 4 rails, technically, the position for the 8 ball. Or will she settle for center table in a thin cut? Those are the 2 options. Center table. Oh, she did get a lot more on that than I thought. From my vantage point here, it didn't look like she had that straight of an angle on it. It looked like there was a little bit more. But well done there. Back to our rules of keeping it simple. And unfortunately, too tough of a cut on the 8 that way. She does leave sights on the 8 past the 9 ball. It's just enough. Actually, a little 1/8 inch extra wiggle room past the 8 ball here. She wants to catch the long rail here by the 2nd diamond. Or she's going straight 1 rail out. That's tough speed control that way. I like going to a 2nd rail, but that's perfectly fine there. Good speed control. I like to eliminate the speed out of the equation and go to the long rail on that, have an aiming point at that 2nd diamond to come off of. But nicely done there. Alyssa now ties up the set, 2 games apiece. The alternate break format will bring Tina to the table. Those unfamiliar with Tina, she comes to us from Severn, Maryland, a former California native, resident at least, moving to the East Coast a couple times. Back in Maryland now. Nice breaking position on the 1 ball here. Tough stretch over the 8. Good solid bridge there. Nice, simple, clean. That was a very nice pure stroke. As simple as that shot was, that's a very nice, clean, pure stroke, letting the cue do the work for her. Not a lot of force behind it, but just the right amount. And good timing with just the right amount of draw for those Distance stop shot. Touch low to hold that. Gonna have to see a big stroke here, drawn straight back. Nicely done. If the cue ball will get there with plenty. Don't want too much, that's perfect. A little bit flatter than she wanted to be. A little bit more angle. It's just perfectly fine. Wants the cue ball to travel up about a foot past the spot. Or around the spot, fine. She's been positioning for the 9 ball in the center of the table. This time, I think she would have preferred to be a little bit closer to the 5. Again, that shallow angle didn't allow for a whole lot of kick off the rail. It's still in good shape. Another nice long distance stop shot. Cleanly done. Good natural angle on the 7 ball. She has a couple options here. She can just play it high right to hold it, come straight across the table, back to where the chalk is on the rail on her side, and back out with the 8 ball on the side. If she doesn't like that, she can try going around. First choice it is. There's the chalk. And back out for the 8 inside. A little bit too far. She doesn't want to go too far. She's on that, they refer to the 50-yard line these days. She has 2 options. That side pocket it is. A low to hold the cue ball, drag it out, perfectly done. Straight in on the 9 ball. This will give Tina a 1-game lead once again. Halfway there to race to 6. Down it goes. Now alternate break will bring Alyssa to the table. A little friendly discussion of a player break. Team wants to take a quick break. On Alyssa's turn, she said, "Sure, go ahead, no problem." I like to see the professional courtesy there. We do know that technically you only take your break on your inning when it's your possession of the table, whether it be the break or in the middle of a rack. However, the ladies are very friendly, and that formality was waived off. As you see, 30 seconds, she's back. All right. Alyssa Solt at the table to break. Rack number 6. Good break with a mishap last time. Let's see what she does with this one. Again, nice solid break on the 1 ball. A little bit too far on the 1. Wing ball went straight in. And the tight squeeze between the 4 ball and the contact point on the 1, even if she decides to spin this in off the rail first or flat cut it. Safety is the play here, folks. I like to see her go off the right side of the 1, or the left side as we're looking at it, sending the cue ball over by the 2, and banking the 1 up by the 7-8. See if you can get it there. Oh, she went for the shot. It was tough. It was tight and it was off the rail, so that's what usually happens when you go for the straight cut. You get behind that ball and bring it away from the rail. It really wasn't a great advantage of making the 1 ball in that position. Couldn't position for the 2 ball, so I'd much rather have seen him go for the safety. Three ball's position on that point might allow for the compression shot. For those that are new to the game that don't know what the compression shot is, you just force the three ball into the cushion, and that compresses it and allows the ball to slide past it before it decompresses and comes back out. Looks like the ball is either on the point precisely or slightly on the outside, which will allow that compression. You have to be pretty straight on with that ball, shoot firmly, and even draw the cue ball to have force follow on the object ball going through the rail into the pocket. However, I could be mistaken, and it could be on the inside of the rail. Let's see if she goes it in. Yep. Force it through. Nicely done. Fairly straight in on this four ball here. Can't tell which side she's on. Either way, stop shot will do. Holding it in that area. She's already executed this nice and cleanly here. Yep. 2-inch drift to the correct side. A little low right on this one, just to catch one rail out center. Nicely done there. And back and forth for the 7-8 in the same corner once again. Top right. As we've seen consistently throughout these last few racks. Line ball stays centered in the rack with the template. 7-8 have been going in the top right corner consistently. A much better position on the 8 ball as far as the angle goes, but tough stretch here. She's going to have to grab the bridge or an extension. Bridge it is. Just following up and around. Shoot the 9 ball in the same pocket here. There's that second rail I was referring to before. That second diamond is a nice aiming point when you're coming around either direction. Give you a nice angle on the 9. Almost straight in, but just enough. No worries. And down goes the 9 ball. Tina once again with a 2-game lead here over Alyssa Solt. She gets the hold serve here now. She approaches the table. I know Tina just had a recent win in a Joe Norton tournament a week ago, taking down first place for a pretty tough field. It was not a women's event, it was a mixed event. She came out victorious in that one. I'd like to see a little bit more control on the cue ball this rack from Tina. Nice big open stroke. There you go. Very nicely controlled cue ball. Drew back off the rack a little bit. One ball's up by the corner pocket perfectly. Wing ball went straight in. Nice job by Tina there. She has a much longer bridge than I've seen as a standard for breaking. A nice big open smooth stroke for that. And with a template rack that allows her to do that with control, as you see. Nice roll up for the 2 ball. A little short here. That thin angle is going to be tough to hold. She may opt to even run into the 5 ball as a stopper ball, depending on what angle she can get off of that. If the tangent off the 5 ball allows for it, it might put her back in line with the 3 in the side. And the 3 does pass by the 4 for the corner. But she's going to try to hold this or come around. Up, runs into the 9 ball. Yep. I'd much rather have seen her go forward into the 5. There are a few more possibilities for the 3 ball in the side or the 2 bottom corner pockets. Now she's completely eclipsed by the 5 ball. Looking for a 1 rail kick in the side. Danger with the cue ball, survives and gets rewarded with speed. Hiding 3 behind the 8. There is a slither of the 3 ball coming out from behind the 8 ball, peeking out. Don't believe it's enough to bank it cross corner. Either way, that possibility is there. However, the 7 ball blocks safe travels for the cue ball. Safety here. And the 7 ball tried to help. Does it? It does. A very fortunate roll for Alyssa here. And she's going for a crisscross bank on a 3, sending the cue ball back up table. However, as I mentioned, that 7 ball prevented that. And now let's see Tina once again go for this 1 rail kick on the 3 in the side. With speed. Sending the cue ball up table. Catches it more full. And this time she's going to leave a shot for Alyssa. Yep, 3 ball comes out far enough. Alyssa must capitalize on this rack right here. Nice solid shot on the 3 ball, splitting the pocket. For those of my generation, she rang the bell on that one, meaning she hit the heart of the pocket on the Brunswick table. You can hear that hollow sound of the center of the pocket when you split the pocket on that. She still seems to be a little bit tight, choking up on the shot, trying to hold the cue ball. I've seen that 4 ball hitting it full, running it back out. It does pass by the 5 in the corner. I think Tina can just roll this in and follow up for the 5 in the side by the 8 ball. I'm not sure if she sees that. Or I may be misinterpreting the angle from my vantage point. Be a straightforward, just roll that 4 ball in and follow up. Up she goes for the cut. In the side, and a little too far. She's going to have the same problem here with the 5 ball. Worrying about running into the 7 ball here. She may have been afraid of a side pocket scratch on the last shot, shooting the 4 in the corner. Both options were available to her, as you can see, obviously. This time around, a little tougher. Scratch possibilities out of the way. She tries to cut the 5 in the corner thin, avoids one side pocket. She can scratch in the other one. This one here, she has to drag and avoid 7 and catch a short rail. Nope, she ran. Look at this roll. Ran into the 7 intentionally, and it held her there for the shot. It's a good read by Tina there, catching the correct side of the 7 ball, and a fortunate double kiss keeping it in play. Nice clean stroke there, good speed. Eight, 9 in the same corner here. Once again, that top right corner. The last 3 balls. Barely shoots that 8 ball into the rail, and you can see the disappointment on Tina's behalf there. Stopping the table. Fortunate speed leaves the 8 ball in a tough position. A tough cut for Alyssa here. Goes for the safety. And well executed there. Opposite ends of the table. Got distance. Got short rail to short rail. Don't see the cut happening in the corner pocket. It is far enough off the rail, but the cue ball's position is tough. believe Tina's disciplined enough not to go for this. Let's see a similar safety play here. The 8-ball thin on the left side, bring the cue ball back up table. Does not catch the 9-ball, but does bring the cue ball up. It's not going to be enough. It's one of the few times you roll this in here. Good speed. Not lag speed, but pocket speed. Just rolling this 8-ball in. Straight and long. Settle for the shot. Let it roll up. Good. Roll up a little bit too much, but still the cut in the corner. Top left is there. And cue ball goes right in the side pocket. Very unfortunate misread on that one. And she just concedes that rack. That will bring Tina up on the hill 5-2 over Alyssa. Alternate break format keeps Alyssa at the table for the next rack split. For those unfamiliar with Alyssa, she hails from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. She actually plays out of Bluegrass here. It's her home run. We're just a few minutes away from here. Her recent win from a couple weeks ago almost. She took down the Maryland State Women's 8-ball title. Bar box 8-ball event. I believe she came back from the one-loss side to take that down. Nice solid break, wing ball in. A little bit too strong. That 1 ball is getting to that top rail. A little friendly, very, very friendly bump from the 2 ball. Brings the 1 ball back into play. It's a long, straight, natural 1-railer over for the 2. She may decide to just roll it in and play the 2 up on the short side. 3 balls hanging by the side pocket, so she has the ability and that flexibility for that. Yeah. Did not want to run into the 2 ball. And of course, the 1 ball that's down in that area, they're going to be the one that blocks it. So, an old saying, don't rearrange the furniture unless absolutely necessary. Don't want to run into balls. Now we have the kick on the 2 to the 3 on the side. See if she's able to get that. A little bit wide, but there's distance between the cue ball and the 2. And a fortunate blue ball. Nope. Table's left wide open for Tina now. Targeting the 2 ball on the top right, 1 rail. Again, just a touch up inside to avoid that 9 ball coming back out towards the center of the table for the 3 on the side. Watch that 9. Okay. Good speed there. And pretty much Cosmo table here. 3 on the side, 4 on the bottom left, 5 where it lies in the top left. And once again, the 7, 8, 9 all in that top right corner. 1 rail back to center here off the short rail. Once again, a little flat on this 5 ball, showing a more angle to come over 1 rail with low left, going across the table. 9 ball blocks high right for 2 rail position here. But she has to give a little punch to this one. A little low left punch, pocketing the 5 ball, focus on pocketing the 5 ball, and just get to the center table under the 9. She did, okay, there was enough room to go around. Very nicely done. stand corrected. I didn't think she had the angle to get that wide on it. Well done by Tina.
The messenger has arrived.
Yeah. Your messenger.
Oh, yeah. I used to watch my grandpa play all the time.
I'm gonna get a picture.
I'm looking to kill the cue ball a little bit and hold it there. Just 8 ball in the same corner. Ooh. Personally, I prefer to go high on those balls and go back and forth, a couple extra rails on that. A high ball keeps the cut pure. So anytime you have a thin cut on the ball or any kind of a cut on the ball, shooting high above center keeps a natural roll on the cue ball, grabbing the cloth right away, and keeps the object ball in the pocket rather than drawing out with draw. So that has a different effect on the object ball. And then you can go back and forth with the cue ball freely rather than trying to hold it there. And that hit gives ball in hand to Tina, and that looks like the set there. Two-inch roll up here for the 8.
So tiny. She's tiny.
We have a 9 ball in the same corner here, 2 rails. A little shy, but she should be all right. Let's make sure she doesn't do the same thing that Alyssa did in that last rack, scratching the cue ball in the side pocket here. It was a miss hit anyhow. Let's see. Plenty of room. Down goes the 9, and that's the set. Tina Malm victorious, 6-2 over Alyssa Solt. What do we have?